Welcome, welcome. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Hope you all had a great weekend. Love 3-day weekends, but hey, now it's back to work and I appreciate y'all jumping on time. If you can, please turn on your cameras. My name is Roland. I'll be your host for today, tonight, depending on where you're calling from. And I do have one of our founders here with Peter Vekselman on the line. And today is going to be more like a fireside chat. Nothing scripted. I have no idea what I'm going to ask. No, I'm kidding. I have some idea of what I'm going to ask him. But really, this is just a conversation with one goal is to give you guys some clarity, to give you guys some clarity on what to do next. Some of y'all have heard from us before, spoken to a specialist here at one point or another, and really just have some more questions, things that you want to kind of iron out. And I can't think of anyone better than our founder Peter to help answer those questions. But again, meanwhile, as we wait for some folks to jump on, please turn on your cameras. On the chat, that's how we're going to communicate throughout the evening. So if you get used to that on the side, let me know where you're calling in from. Hey, Ron, thank you for turning on your camera, sir. Orlando, thank you, thank you. Stuart, you're in the car. Drive safe, please. Kevin, thank you for turning on your camera. Everyone else on the chat, let me know where you're coming in from. We got Chelsea in Orlando. I'm coming to you live myself from Northern California. Love to kind of see where everyone else is at. Adriana out in Florida as well. Linda from Vegas. Awesome, awesome. Is that closer to like a Henderson or a where are you at in Vegas exactly? Jacksonville, we got Brandy. Welcome, welcome. Beverly Hills, nice, nice. And then we have iPhone out in Judith rather out in Connecticut, and we have Jonathan in Florida. Henderson, got it, Linda. Perfect, perfect. We have South Bend, Indiana. Ron, obviously I know where you're from. Um, Antonio in Alabama, Birmingham to be exact. Kevin in Jersey Shore, all over the country. The great thing about real estate, no matter where you live, people need a place to live. There's opportunity, which is why we're scattered all across the country here. So again, as you're tuning in, please turn on your cameras. We're gonna chat, we're gonna talk, we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. And bottom line, want to help you finally get the answers you need to make a decision. Whether what we have to offer here at Partner Driven makes sense for you and the season of your real estate business or not. And that's okay. We're definitely not for everyone. But the one thing we don't want is indecision, right? We want to give you clarity. We want to give you everything you need to move forward. And more importantly, the support. And again, I have Peter here, our principal founder, has done over thousands of deals across the country, has been in the real estate game for over 20 years now. And Pete, tonight, I know as busy as you are helping out our partners, again, really just want to have a conversation with you. No script. You know how we both do it. And just talk things through and kind of get some insights on kind of what's happening in the marketplace today.
Let's do it. It's good to be here. I can't remember, as I logged on, um, you suggested this format. I'm like, I don't think we ever done this kind of format, but um, I love it. Let's uh, let's just do a little fireside chat as you mentioned, and let's see if we could find some partners to do
Absolutely,
some
Pete.
deals with.
Yeah, I appreciate you kind of being flexible there. I get a chance to speak with people across the country. As you know, we get thousands of applications pouring in, wanting to partner, wanting to do real estate deals with us. But obviously, we just can't take everyone on. So the whole purpose of tonight is to get a better chance to get to know you, for you to get to know us, get your questions answered, and be able to come up with a game plan that whether to move forward or not. Having said that, Pete, I'd love to kind of start off kind of 30,000 foot view. Why partner driven? Why you started it, where we're kind of at. And I know it's kind of a big question, but I think great place to start.
Yeah, interestingly enough, and I understand why, but a lot of people put someone like myself into the so-called guru world for obvious reasons. Look, I get it. And one of the biggest things that does separate me from that is that question, why did we start? When you look at most of the guru organizations, they're very training driven, education driven, which by the way is absolutely critical. I will tell you it is the number one reason why people lose money in real estate. They just don't know what they're doing and there's no barriers to entry. So all of that is important. But that's how almost every guru starts their world. Like they want to create a profit center in the education world. Again, nothing wrong with that. All are all very much needed. Tons of great training out there. But that is really what ultimately separates us here. When I started, when we started here, partner driven, partnering with people, we didn't do it for the people. I hate to say it. I know it's not the lovey-dovey. I know it's not the politically correct thing to say. Well, we did it for us. I mean, literally, we started what we're talking to you guys about today for us. Because now, and this is many years ago, I was personally trying to figure out how can I do more real estate deals. About 10 years ago, was already fairly established as a real estate investor. At that point, I'd already done thousands of real estate deals by myself, with my team, and was doing it in 17 specific markets across the United States. I'm here out of Atlanta today, was out of Atlanta then, but I was doing it all the way from the East Coast in Jacksonville, Florida, to my most West Coast market back then was California, specifically in Triangle, Modesto. It's like Sacramento, San Francisco, that kind of a area. And we were doing great. But the reality is, no matter how good or how well you're doing, most things in life you want to do more. Not just to make more, but just to have a bigger footprint, to strategize more. And I'm the same way to this day. I'm always trying to figure. By the way, it's why I'm here on tonight because I want to do more deals. But back then, I was trying to figure out how do I do more than 17 markets, and that right there is why Partner Driven was born. Because I was trying to figure out how I could penetrate the whole United States, not just 17 specific markets. So back then, how we got to today, I just started putting messaging out on social media. And initially it was very simple. Hey, if you got um, uh, um, if you got a real estate deal anywhere in the United States, here we are. We got a team, we got an organization. Let us know about it. We'll put up all the money and then we'll split the profits. And the messaging took off. It actually took off to such a level that back then we got approached by Hollywood to do a reality TV show. They thought it was a pretty darn cool concept, kind of like a real life guru doing deals with everyday people, putting up the money. What they didn't realize, like neither the Hollywood and neither us in the very beginning, is that that model was destined to fail. And that model did initially fail in its initial launch. And the reason it failed, as any of you all know who've been in real estate or who are currently in real estate, although money is very important, and I guarantee you an overwhelming majority of you all are here because, oh, he gives us all the money. I could 100% tell you, those of you who understand real estate also know real estate is way more important than just the money. There's plenty of people in real estate that have had plenty of money. It's like, how do you make a small fortune? You start out with a big fortune and you get in real estate investing and you create a small fortune out of it. So real estate, and there's plenty of people, who have plenty of access to capital that never make it. But that was the initial launch to what we do today. And really, Roland, what's happened now, how we got to where we are today, is over the years we've been doing this, we've just realized that we had to simplify the process for our partners to really get to the level where we are now, where we're doing dozens and dozens and dozens of deals across the United States with dozens of partners. To really get to this level, we needed to simplify things and we needed to make them more basic. And so we started adding parts and pieces onto what we do. And where we are now, to kind of shortcut 10 years to today, is yes, we still provide 100% of the capital, everything. Our partners don't even put a penny up. By the way, we also handle the other side of the equation. We handle all the liability. Our partners don't have to sign anything, guarantee anything, get any kind of loans. And if something ever goes wrong, and yes, things still go wrong, there's some deals that we still to this day, heck, we just lost $5,000 in a deal in um, right outside of Nashville somewhere. It was a great deal going in. It was a great deal being in it. It was a great deal coming out of it until one day somebody broke into that house while we still owned it and took a hammer to it and put $35,000 worth of damage to it. And in the end, when everything was said and done, we always had to repair it. Um, make a long story short, and then when everything was said and done, we ended up losing $6,500 on it. Well, guess what? That was on me. I put all the, my partner didn't have to put it, even a penny, absorb a penny of that loss. My point is, not only do we put up all the capital, we absorb all the losses that have ever happened. That's key. In this business, you literally absorb 100% of the upside and you have 0% of the downside. That's called an infinite return, by the way. But now, beyond just putting the money up, we do many other things. We train and support because in real estate, you got to know what you're doing. It's not a business you could go to YouTube and watch some videos. It's not a business you can go to the weekend guru seminars. All of that is great general knowledge. Only way to be successful is you have to have specific knowledge to every deal you're doing because every deal is different and unique. So we provide that to our partners. We provide the marketing systems and technology behind it to help them find deals in their markets. We have a due diligence system that evaluates deals lickety split to show them if it's a good deal or a bad deal. Are they on the right track or are they wasting time on a particular deal? We have a national closing team that closes deals so our partners don't have to worry about titles or coordinating buyers or sellers or moving folders. We obviously put up all the capital. Um, we have a construction team, a national construction team that has the ability to be deployed across the United States to get the properties fixed if the properties need fixing and if the partner needs that. That's huge. Again, for any of y'all that are in real estate, if you ever want to lose money, just do some fix and flips and work with some contractors and you might as well go donate that money. I see a number of you guys smiling. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And then we obviously, sell the properties off, exit with some kind of a strategy, and then we do a split, 50-50 split. And that's really the partner-driven model. We are doing more deals now than we have since we started doing this. We're doing more deals in more areas now than since we've started this. And really, what I'm really most proud about, Roland, is we have more partners that we're doing deals with than we ever have. So that's where we were, and that's where we are now, Roland.
Absolutely, Pete. Love it. I love the summary. I love hearing it directly from you. Folks, if that resonates with you, do me a favor, drop a one on the chat. And regardless of kind of where you are in your real estate journey, whether you're brand new looking to get started or looking to scale, drop a one. Let me know if that makes sense for you and if I can help you in your journey today. I appreciate that. Brady one, Grayson one, Kevin. It makes total sense. This is a no-brainer, right? Pete, let me ask you, in today's Facebook, social media, there's so many ways to make money in real estate. I get hit up on my feed, I'm sure you do as well, so many different ways to make money, or at least try to make money in real estate. There's section 8, there's subject 2, there's wholesaling. The path that you've chosen and the path that we have here at Partner Driven primarily is fixing and flipping houses. Why is that, and why have you chosen that specific niche, if you will, throughout all these years?
Well, reality of so yes, there is tons of strategies and techniques, and there's no shortage of that. But the reality is when you evaluate all of those, the subject twos, the rentals, buying tax deeds, when you evaluate and you put all these techniques and strategies side by side, there is no close second. The big money is made by the flippers, by the real estate investors. That's who makes the biggest money. So the reason I initially chose this, it was even before partner driven. It's when I initially got into real estate. I'm one of those people that I don't want to chase $300 a month. Again, nothing wrong. I built a rental portfolio to 400 doors. And it was either me get out of that business or commit suicide. It was like one of the two. What do I want to do? Kill myself or continue getting into rentals? And any of y'all that have had rentals, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I've done all in subject twos, I've done all those techniques. But the big money is made on the fix and flips. So the reason we've always stuck with fix and flips is that when our partners start with us, very few of them start with an attitude of how do I make as little money as possible? Like Pete, show me how to make $300 a month. Like if that's what you want to do, go work at McDonald's and you'll make $300 a month and it's a lot less stressful. But I wanted to get in the business where we could have like not just myself, but the partners where they could make 10,000 a pop, 30,000 a pop, $100,000 a pop. So that's where the fix and flip came from. Interestingly enough, we've added some strategies onto it, like pre-listing, hoteling, wholesaling, blah, blah, blah. They're all basically fall into the same family. But the reason I've never really deviated from this family of investing is not only because you make the most with this in this lane of real estate, the reason that I've really never deviated is because I have a very simple philosophy in life. Um, Look at people that make all the money and look at people who don't. And you're going to see a one very big distinction between them. The guy that's out there and he's got 20 plates spinning, he's involved in this and this and this, and he's got 30 things going on. When you analyze them, not a single one of them makes money, but he's busy, right? That is not how you make money. The way almost all the money is made is you realize and you analyze the uber successful people, they all dominate something. Did they branch out ultimately? Absolutely. Did they get involved in other things? Absolutely. Am I involved in other things at this point in my life? 100%. But what got me here is the fix and flip model. And so the reason I've never deviated as far as real estate is because um, it's how you really scale. And I would say I'm about as good, and my team is as good as anybody in the country. I'd say we're probably the best in the country at doing fix and flips and figuring out how to take those types of deals. If we have to move them into a different strategy, like a quick turn or an as is flip or something like that, we're exorbitantly good. But it all comes down to building things vertically, not horizontally. That's really where the big money's made. No question about it.
Yeah, it makes total sense, Pete. And unfortunately, in today's era, with so much information, especially newbie investors, they think, hey, if I get a rental property today, right? If I get a DSCR loan today, if I get a creative deal today, and they make that $300 that you were speaking about, it's not going to really move you. And again, I love our philosophy of, hey, let's make big surges of income. Let's make those big paydays so that way you
Mhm.
can slowly work your way there. If I'm not mistaken, I think one of our top partners in Seth, he's got a couple of doors himself, simply by us focusing here at Partner Driven, the active income you need to participate in those other verticals that you spoke about. Is that fair to say, P, as far as Seth and his rental portfolio today?
Yeah, 100%. And by the way, we've had many partners as they flip with us go on to do other techniques and strategies. The other reason that I stick with fix and flips and that I insist that our partners initially do some fix and flips with us, it's where you make the biggest money. But most importantly, if your goal is to get into rentals or creative deals or whatever strategies that are out there, no better way to do it than make a bunch of pile money here and then use that to go out there. And so we have a lot of partners. Heck, I was just talking to a group of our partners, not a group, their partnership, and we've done, gosh, we've probably done well, we've done several flips with them. They got 40 rentals on the side, and to this day, they still use the money they make on a fix and flip, buy rental and cash flow and long-term play. That's what you want to do. But I love this strategy because this strategy gives you the one thing that so many other strategies simply cannot give you. It gives you options. That's really what it does. This
Love it.
strategy gives you options.
Makes total sense, Pete. I mean, it makes
Yep.
sense to me, but maybe I'm biased, right? But this is a no-brainer. We tend to attract a lot of people. We tend to attract a lot of people who want to work with us, work with you specifically. But who are you looking for? I mean, who do you want to work with? Who are you looking at as far as, hey, this is somebody I want to link arms with and go to war with, so to speak? Any characteristics you're kind of looking for?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, there is no close second. The absolute top, and when partners start with us, to this day, I still always call every single one of them. Like
Mm,
every partner hears from me at 2 points. One, right when they get started, I personally would like to call them and welcome them, give them some initial instructions. And the second time partners here for me, and this is the serious time, is when they get any kind of traction. Because to this day, I still get involved, believe it or not, in every single deal we do. Because I'm extremely good at structuring deals and make sure the deals get moved forward and make sure there's profit in all of them. But when I make that initial call in terms of welcoming them and giving them some initial tidbits, I tell them the absolute key component that we're looking for success with us is you have to be coachable. Meaning you cannot, I mean, you can bring your bad habits into this business, and most people do. That's okay, no problem. But you got to be coachable because we have the one thing that's really that's really required in order to be successful in this space. We have history and experience and credentials behind us, and we know what we're doing. And I could tell you a huge mistake partners make with us is when they get started, they're not coachable. They just think they know what they're doing, and really what they're doing is they're just wasting everyone's time. And you know if you're coachable or not. You know, I always tell people if you're one of those people, you just know yourself. You know, you're the jerk of anywhere you go to. You know, you're the guy that tells everybody what to do, no matter how much or how little you know about it. Don't even start with us. It's not going to end up good. You're not going to become successful with us. You're just going to end up wasting everyone's time. So, you know, if you're coachable or not, you got to be coachable. Um, the other thing is remember, we're not just an educational company. That's one of the things we do, but we do deals. That's how we judge our success. And so since we do deals, you have to have the one thing that you almost don't need it anywhere else in the space is you have to have time. So if you get in this business and you're like, well, I don't have time to do this, um, don't do it. I mean, you can't do a deal by thinking about it. Not at least not as far as I know. So I always say minimum 3, 4, 5 hours a week to get started. So you have to be willing to put time into this thing because doing deals requires time, obviously. And the final thing is I always tell people don't, if your only goal in life is to make an extra or to do one extra deal or one deal, this you don't want to be in this space. It's not worth it. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. If your only goal and ambition is to flip one house or do one deal, you know, so you could pay off your credit card bill or go on that one dream vacation to Hawaii and take your whole family. I mean, I think those are all great things, but it's not worth it. It really is not. Not for what it takes to just get that, do a deal. And
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so you
Question
don't
for,
wait.
Yeah,
Bear
Mike, we'll
with
do questions at the end if you don't mind.
oh, okay,
And
okay.
Yeah.
and
Shoot.
so what you don't want to do is get in this thing just for one deal. You know, my perfect case scenario, and I talk about it, I write about it all the time with my partners, is that I'm looking for partners that want to have multiple deals going on, like 2 to 3, 4 deals. That's like my perfect case scenario. Find partners that want to have 2, 3, 4 deals going on all the time. You're making a really good money. We got consistency. We're grooving. Everyone's flowing together, and that's what I'm really looking for. So.
Got it. Makes sense, Pete. And Mike, again, we'll do Q&A here in about a second. But before we do, Pete, I'd love to kind of make it clear that you don't necessarily need any type of certification or a license. You don't need a real estate license at all to work with us. But if folks are, if they're a licensed agent, or let's say they're a general contractor, how does that kind of play in our world?
So yeah, you don't need to be licensed or anything like that in this business, but um, there are advantages. Let's say if you happen to be licensed, um, again, you do not need to be. I'm not even licensed, and I'm the guy that's done all these flips. But there are some innate advantages. For instance, if you happen to be licensed, um, guess what's going to happen to every lead you get that's not an investment deal? You're going to flip it into a listing, right? I mean, we've had partners start with us and that were licensed, and you know they started with us. They had 4, 5, 6 listings. All of a sudden, 12 months from now, they have 106 listings, right? They didn't even try to set out to do it, but it just happens, right? It happens when you get lead flow, and it's what happens when you talk to motivated sellers. The other advantage to being partnered is I'm sorry, to having license is guess who's going to list our flips? You're going to get the listing on them. And the third advantage to it is that in whatever area you're located in, there's probably some partners that aren't licensed. So when they get deals that they need a license, I mean, I'm sorry, that they need a realtor to flip, guess what? Obviously, it's going to be you. So, same thing with a contractor. You have the ability to pick up the jobs and stuff like that. Do you need to be any of those? No. But if you happen to have some kind of skill set as it relates to this business, absolutely. We're a great business to help you grow. That's whatever that side of the business is for you. We're a great business to help you grow that side.
Love it, Pete. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah,
At this point,
absolutely.
folks, I definitely want to give you guys an opportunity to introduce yourself to Peter. Maybe give us a background of where you are today in your real estate journey, why partner driven, what you're looking to do, and also ask some point blank questions. Obviously, we are transparent as can be, and we are an open book. So please, at the bottom of your screen, if you can unmute your line, raise your hand if you can. That way, it's a little bit more organized. But Mike, you were the first one, so I'll definitely get to you first. But again, your name, background, what you're looking to do, why partner driven, and all that fun stuff. Mike, go ahead, please. You're the first one.
Mike Tessum. I'm a mortgage broker of
What's up,
38
Mike?
years. I live in Highlands Ranch, a suburb of Denver, and I've done all kinds of stuff. I was curious about something. When somebody asks you, do they just jump in, or do they start asking questions about the company, how long you've been here, what's my exposure? When
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Fire away. It's your show.
okay. Um, you know, plain and simple, I don't know who you guys are. You don't know me. We could be crazy, but um, I'm just curious. Because what's my fallback if you guys are a bunch of criminals? Do I put out 20, 30,000 or exposed? I have a listing I just finished, flip, and I'm getting spanked on it in Pueblo, Colorado. So, any and all coaching is acceptable as far as you said, you measure that by your dollars in your pocket. I agree. That's absolutely.
Well, can I be upfront with you, Mike?
Yeah.
So I think you answer your own question
Okay.
mostly. I think you just said you try to do flip yourself and you got spanked. So obviously if anyone's ripping anybody off, it's you ripping
Oh
yourself.
yeah. Yeah.
You know what
I
I
learned,
mean?
I learned everything not to
No,
do.
no. Listen, I've been down there. This
Oh,
business
sure.
made me homeless just about when I got started. If you ever want, I no, I tell people the ultimate way to lose money is get into real estate investing. Like if you ever want to
Mhm.
lose money, and those of you that have done this business, I guarantee you can relate to everything I'm saying. I went through it
I'm
myself.
sure of it. Sure of it.
Yeah. So how do you know that we're for real? We're pretty easy to check out. I mean, I wouldn't be getting on this thing for after 30 years in a live
Right.
environment. But beyond that, what I tell people is you have to have some common sense.
Mhm.
Like, for instance, most people, I think across the board, when people listen to me, they understand that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this business.
Mhm.
Like, you really just got to use your common sense. You don't have to necessarily ask the guy next to you or the girl next to you, well, does that guy know what he's doing? Because then you're putting all your eggs in their basket. And that's the
Right.
last thing you want to do.
Mhm.
So you got to have common sense. After listening to me for an hour or so, you could even get on the private call with me. You got to just ask yourself, does this guy know what he's doing?
Right.
And somewhere along the line, Mike, I'm going to tell you something you probably don't want to hear. You got to go
Oh,
look.
I love all information. I just,
Well, somewhere along the line, you got to go a little bit on faith because there
mhm.
are no guarantees in life. There's no guarantee you're even going to do a deal with us.
Right.
Okay, there's absolutely no guarantee you're going to do a deal with us. But here's what I am going to tell you. I've done thousands of these, and
Mm-hmm.
I know 100% guarantee it. I know how to do it better than you do. And I also can guarantee you that you have a billion times better chance with me and my team than doing it by yourself. That
Yep.
you already know because you're just getting spanked on a deal you're in. So
Yeah.
somewhere
Now,
along the line, you got to learn how to work the needle of your life.
mm-hmm.
Needles don't work in absolute. 100% guaranteed this way or 100% guaranteed. That's not how life works. By
Yeah.
the way, that's what most people use as excuses for not doing things.
Mm-hmm.
But in life, this is how you work. You work the needle. Is it
Mm-hmm.
moving in your direction? And if
Mm-hmm.
it's moving in your direction and it feels like it's the right thing, then you just got to use your head, Mike. Just
Mm-hmm.
honestly, you just got to say, like, this guy sound like he knows what he's doing, or does he sound like he doesn't understand anything about real estate? I promise you, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I've been
You know what I
listening
mean?
to you for a bit here, and I'm impressed.
I promise you, I know what I'm doing. I got all our deal flow right here. I'm still old school. I still use paper for deals. People
I'm
always
the
laugh
same
at
way.
me.
Exactly.
Well, and by the way,
Exactly.
the other reason I do it is it's easy. See, I take this
Yeah.
anywhere I go. You know,
Yeah.
I don't need to open up my laptop and look at a Excel spreadsheet. And that's the other thing, by the way, Mike, that's very important. What
Hmm.
I said about 15, 20 minutes ago, there's not a deal that we're involved in that I'm personally not involved in.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that just gets up and talks and then you start with them and you're like, well, where the hell's the guy, the talking head?
Right.
There's not a deal that we're doing that I'm not personally involved in and personally guiding through. Part of the reason it's a little bit kind of why we started this, it was so I could
Hmm.
do more deals. Part of
Yep.
the reason I'm still involved, I love doing deals. I
Hmm.
love it. There's like nothing more. I hate doing what we're doing right now. Have no love for it, have no skills for it. As you can see, I don't even come with a presentation. I'm
Hmm.
just raw in the way it is. People listen to me and they're like, hell yeah, I'm all in with this dude, or fuck no, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's kind of the impression I give to most people. But,
What hit me? Okay.
Mike, I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm very good at what I'm doing. And so
Good.
what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a fighting chance. That's all I can
Hmm.
give you. Is I'm going to give you
Hmm.
a fighting chance to be successful. And Mike, I'm going to do the one thing no other guru is going to do. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to put up all the money for our deals. I'm never going to come to you and say, "Well, Mike, hell, I'm short 5 grand. You know, can you help me out here?" That's
Hmm.
never happened in the 20 years we've been doing this. That I've been investing in 10 years of this.
I like it. I like it.
Okay? And by the way, Roland, what's the next step for people that are on this call if they
Yeah,
want
absolutely.
to?
Great question, Mike. And again, if you have a question or if you want to continue the conversation offline, we have Chelsea helping us out. Chelsea can drop a link, and whether you're speaking to someone or not, click on the link,
Hmm.
schedule a call. That way, number one, we know you're here, and number two, we kind of put you ahead of the line. So click on the link. We'll be sure to get to you, if not tonight, tomorrow. But Mike, thanks for the question because that's also
Hmm.
a question that other people may have as well. So, um,
I have a question. I want to ask another one right now.
okay,
I going through this most recent flip that I did, I didn't lose money, but I didn't make any either. I burned up a lot of time, and just looking at some of the scenarios here, it's got me excited because I know the wrong choices I made on the other one, even though I did it correctly. Um, but anyhow. I'd love to, the biggest thing I saw was how important it is the workers are doing the work and what's that cost? And that
Well,
could,
it's like I said, if you ever want to lose money in real estate, do what you do. Get into real estate and do some fix and flips.
hmm.
And you could literally create a fortune as long as it's a big fortune you start with, you'll create a small one very quickly.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, this business is so expensive, most people can't afford the losses.
Yeah.
In real estate, you're not losing $5 here and $10 here. In real estate, you're losing thousands at a time, and it's
Oh,
just,
I know that.
I mean, too big. Anyway, make sure you fill out the form. Let's do some deals, Mike.
Okay. I
awesome,
just,
Mike. Yeah, it should be
okay.
on the chat. So if you look in the chat, you'll
Yeah,
see the
I'm in
link
there
there.
right now. I think
Absolutely. Fill that out and we'll get back to you soon here.
sounds
Brady,
good.
you are up next. Heard some great things about you. I work very closely with David, one of my colleagues here, and just said that you'd be a great partner fit for us. I'm glad you get a chance here to meet our very own Peter Vekselman. So you're up next.
Yeah, can you all hear me all right?
A little choppy, but let's see what happens.
Hey, Roland, hey, Pete.
How you doing?
I had a call with David, or doing well. I had a call with David.
Right.
Go ahead, Roland.
Hmm. Yeah, I can hear you. Maybe turn off your
Okay, I
camera.
had
That might help.
You're good. I hear you, Brady. Go ahead.
Okay, go
Stop.
ahead.
Keep talking.
I had a call with David today at lunch, and and it went great. I just I guess I'll go ahead and reintroduce myself. So my name's Brady. I graduated college, moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and started house hacking. If y'all are familiar with the term. I purchased a small multifamily home, a triplex, and ended up buying an RV and living out of that, fixing up the units using the Burr method and refinancing out. And now I'm on my second one. I'm currently in a duplex. And anyways, I was on my way to work and I listened to the Real Business Owners podcast with Trevor Callett. And Pete, I got the chance to hear your story and hear what you went through. And you were exactly what I am looking for here in Jacksonville. I have, you know, the connections, the teams, or, you know, all of that. However, I do not have the capital, and there are a lot of great deals that I've had to pass up. And I think y'all are exactly what I need. So I just, yeah, I've, you know, I know the real estate industry or the real estate game here in Jacksonville down to the zip code. And yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
By the way, love Jacksonville. I flipped about 600 properties in Jacksonville. Know the market, love the market. It's, believe it or not, it is the very first market I went into after Atlanta here in my hometown. So why don't you reconnect with David, see if we could do something for you in terms of breaking up the initial fee, and we'll let's get rocking and rolling.
Thanks, Pete.
Awesome, Brady. Thanks for being here. I don't see any more hands, so if you want to physically raise your hand or if you have a question, I see you, Antonio. Go ahead, buddy.
Hello, how y'all doing today? My name is Antonio Daniel. 37. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. Like you said, I have probably like four prior transactions for us using the Bird method, having rental properties and stuff, and recently trying to open up a home health care business, but I'm always looking to get knowledge, wisdom, try to progress, be productive, and be off in a positive mind state. And I'm really like on my property deals, I'm not licensed. I'm self-taught. Like I have had some troubles in the past, but not violent, non-sexual, or nothing like that. So I did some time. I had to sit down, read some books. When I got out, I bought my first house for 12,000. I renovated that. Then I started off in the Section 8, and then my next house, I'm just really renting out to like just not Section 8, just I have like three multiple properties, but I have my own house, like that I'm taking care of. So I would say my gift would be I'm a salesman and I'm a determined, motivated, go getter. I got common sense. I'm not green, and I'm not in this to just make one deal. And I know I do not know everything, so I'm very coachable and very motivated, and be very consistent. And I just have never come across this opportunity like this where people was putting up the cash as long as I was bringing the listings to them and stuff. And I was trying to see.
Hey, Antonio, let me make first of all, great job in being a fighter. Good job. Way to hang. A lot of people in your position would have given up. So congratulations for not giving up. But let
Thank
me make a comment on what you just said, that last statement.
Yes,
There
sir.
is no one else that has this model in a country. The reason people always tell us, well, I've been looking for somebody that does this, like no one else. Sure,
Yes,
there's
sir.
local partnerships going on all the time, but no one does what we do. So I appreciate you pointing that out, and yeah, love to do some deals with you. Absolutely would love it.
I'll beat my feet for you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank
Make sure you fill out the form at the bottom, and let's get you connected.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. I hope y'all have a good night.
Absolutely. All right. Anyone else? If you want to just take yourself off mute, if you got a question, um, speak away. Love to hear from you.
Hey,
Yeah,
Carson, is
what?
that you? Oh, there it is. Go ahead.
Yes. What is your sweet spot or your upper levels and lower levels?
I don't know.
I have
So,
the disadvantage of living in LA where prices are very high.
well, that's not a disadvantage, believe it or not. Is this Carson talking?
Yes.
Garrison? I've done in the West Coast, California, over 250 flips in the last couple of years. So it's not a
Okay.
disadvantage. Love the marketplace. Remember, real estate is not a dollar-driven business, size. It's a margin-driven business. It's all about margins. And you can
I,
have the right or the wrong margins in a $10,000 deal, or you can have the right or the wrong margins in a $1 million deal. It's all about margins. Our sweet spot is not even necessarily upfront to find the right margins. The sweet spot, and we would teach you this if you work with us, is to make sure you're dealing directly with the owner. And if you're dealing directly with the owner, we tell you take control of the property, lock it up, get under contract. There's a lot of things we know how to do in terms of structuring deals that other people can't even do. So when other people look, Garson, at a deal and say, well, this is not a deal, I could look at a deal and say, here's how we create a deal out of it. So as long as you're dealing directly with the owners, lock them up, get it controlled, and we'll help you through there.
okay.
Which means our sweet spot's huge, bigger than anyone else you've seen out there. The bullseye is boom, huge.
Yeah, great question. Great question, Carson. Yeah, please fill out. I know you were asking about the link, so hopefully you
I
saw
filled
that.
out. I'd love to
Perfect.
speak to you guys.
Okay, looking forward to it. Yeah, anyone else? Again, just go ahead, and this is very casual. So go ahead and just unmute your line, start speaking, and then
Yes, this is Troy Bennett, San Antonio, Texas. I would
Up,
be
Troy.
honored to know if y'all have any success out here in the San Antonio market.
Absolutely. Everywhere we've done deals, we've had success. Real estate is not a San Antonio or Houston or Atlanta or a Miami driven business or an LA driven business. That's what the gurus teach. And it's nothing to do with that. Zero to do with that. And let me explain to you why, Troy. You're sitting in a car right now, right?
Yes,
All right, I guarantee you, if you start the engine and go half a mile down the road, you'll be in a different market, right? You'll see different types of houses, you'll see different types of people, you'll see different kind of prices, correct?
absolutely.
That's a freaking quarter mile or a half a mile from you. How can anyone in the world even mutter the word, "Oh, I'm in this city. How is the market here?" It changes a quarter mile. Every quarter mile it changes. So the way you do that, again, that's how people gurus sell their seminars. It's all BS and crap. It's pocket driven business, and inside every market, Troy, are actually pockets. In these pockets, believe it or not, is where about 75% of all the deals are hiding. Literally, it's where they're all located. So what we do, Troy, is we teach people how to identify those pockets, whether you're in San Antonio, whether you're in, Flint, Michigan, whether you're in wherever it is. So it is not a market-driven business, nothing to do with markets. It is a pocket-driven business, understanding there are certain pockets you're wasting your time in, and there's certain pockets where gold is. We show you how to find the pockets. So real estate, the key to working with, one of the keys of working with us is not only everything we provide, but what we ultimately are, Troy. I tell people we're the ultimate shortcut in this business. This is why so few people ever make money in real estate. Most people just, luckily they never get a deal done because that's hard to even get a deal done. The ones that get a deal done, almost all of us time end up having bad experiences. But the reason it's even hard to get a deal done is most people don't even know how to put a deal together. They don't know where to look, where to spend their time, effort. If it was really a market driven business, San Antonio, you guys have millions of opportunities there. You'd go broke trying to figure out which opportunity to go after. So what we do is we shortcut the system. What partner driven is, it's the ultimate shortcut to doing deals. And that's one of the shortcuts we provide is where to find the pockets in San Antonio where the deals are.
Awesome, sir. Well, I definitely look forward to coming on board next
Let's
week.
go do it.
And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I look forward to, I'll remember you, Troy. Big Troy, I'm going to call you.
That'll work.
I'll remember you. I'll remember you. All right. Anybody have anything else? Just take yourself off mute. I know there are a couple of people speaking at once, so bring yourself off mute. You got a question or
go ahead,
comment?
Al. I see you there, buddy.
Yeah. So my name's Al Gleason,
What's up,
and
Al?
I spent some years investing before the crash back in 2009. So I'm looking to get back in the game. How do you all? What type of support do you have in terms of finding like these off-market deals? Being able to deal directly with sellers with your system.
So the key, by the way, that's the only thing we want you to focus on as a partner. We got everything handled. The back end said, the rehab, the money, the closings, due diligence, blah, blah, blah. We got all that handled. But that is where we want you to focus. So here's the big picture. The big picture is there's about 1,000 different ways, even more now than there was in '08 and '09, of finding deals. All you got to do is Google, right? Google motivated sellers, and you're going to see hundreds and hundreds of different things on Google about, you're going to see even companies that'll take your money to generate leads for you and all this. So, by the way, that's where some of the problems in this business start. How in the heck do you even know which technique and which strategy to use? Here's something else that's kind of scary. Do you know out of all these hundreds and thousands of different techniques and strategies and companies that'll help you find deals, do you know only 4 really work consistently right now? That's it. Only 4 marketing strategies work. So, Al, one of the things we do when we start people is we show you what these 4 strategies are. So bottom line is you don't have to experiment with 100. Oh, this looks pretty good. Let me try that. Oh, that looks pretty good. Or let me spend some money and have these guys generate some leads for us. We've tried it all. We've done it all. I promise you. Reality, only about 4 consistently, persistently generate over 95% of all the deals. We show you what those are, and then you figure out yourself which one you want to rock with. Some of them include technology, which we also work with. Some of them are very hand to hand because some people hate technology, so we kind of account for personalities in those.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
We got it. Bottom line is we got it.
Awesome. Great question, Al. Appreciate you being here. Lila, is that right? Lila, is it Lila B?
It's Lila.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lila.
yeah.
Hey,
My
Lila.
main concern was just what you were talking about. I'm in the upstate South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina area. I'm from Atlanta, so that's one of the things that appealed to me because Peter is Atlanta. So
I am.
anyway, I was just mainly concerned with finding the deals because we have been looking like crazy using PropStream, developing in our own marketing list, but getting very little, if any, results. So that was my main concern.
Well, let me expand upon
that, and also, what am I looking for? What's your buy box?
So let me expand upon that. It's the only thing that we show our partners have to do. Okay. Which is great. We do 95% of all the heavy lifting in real estate. We have you focus on the 5% or 10% of it.
Okay.
But the reality of it is the hardest thing to do. And the reason it's the hardest, it's the most competitive. If you think about it, everything converges at there, right? Every single newbie needs to find a deal. Every single half-assed experienced investor needs to find a deal. And every single uber experienced investor needs to find a deal, right? Not all of them need rehab. Not all of them have the same exit strategies. So then it's just the crowd's clear after that. But where everybody converges is here. So it's not only part of the reason it's the hardest, it's the most competitive. Okay. The other reason is most people, like I was just telling Al, I think there's thousands of different ways of doing it. Like you were saying, oh, we're trying this, we're trying that. Only 4 work. 99% chance right now you're actually doing what you shouldn't even be doing. Okay. And the final thing, which is very, very important thing, what you're looking right now for and saying, oh, well, that's not a deal for us. Some of those, like probably more than you realize, we'll look at and say that is a deal. Why? Because we have experience. So what you look at and say, well, there's nothing here. Let's move on to the next PropStream, tax record. We look at and say, BS. We have an opportunity here, and here's how we make money with it. So when you look at the competitive side of it, when you look at it, are you even doing the right thing side of it? When you look at it, that we create deals where most people like yourself don't even know you're sitting on a deal, and you put them all together, this is why we have the successes we have with our partners. Make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Sounds
we got
like
you. We got you. Make sure you grab that form and let's connect. Let's chat.
Well, I've already been speaking with Sandra.
Perfect. Make sure you touch base.
A couple of weeks before I come on board.
Yeah, make sure you touch base with Sandra. Okay, awesome.
I have a quick question.
Absolutely.
The general contractors, you said you're not licensed. Did the general contractors have to be licensed to do any of the work?
Well, what I was talking about, we were talking about realtors. I was saying I'm not a real estate agent.
Okay.
as far as contractors, it depends. Some states you don't need to be licensed. Some states you do need to be licensed.
Okay.
If our rehab is paint the bathroom wall downstairs, we're not going to sweat it if the guy's not licensed. If our rehab is every single system needs to be done and redone and checked and rechecked, you better believe it, we're going to get somebody that knows what they're doing. So it's all specific towards what we're doing. Another value working with us, those are, like Lila was just talking about, man, I can't even get off step one. I can't even freaking figure it out if I got how to find a deal. Well, guess what? Get on your knees and pray and say, thank God you haven't yet. Because you don't want to get to what this young lady is just saying, and now you're in the middle of a deal, and every single problem you're finding now is going to exist right there, except different. You know what I mean? How to work with contractors, how to raise money, how to clear title. You know what I mean? This business, when you put all the pieces together, most people have no idea how many different pieces there are in this business and how many pieces you really have to master. That's a beautiful thing about working with us. We've mastered these pieces. By the way, we've even mastered your piece of marketing. The reason we leave it up to you is because marketing is still very much a local function. So we need local people to help us with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully that helps.
And Pete, while we're waiting for the next person to raise their hand, someone did ask in the chat, there's no name, it says Zoom user, how do we compare to a sub 2 or Gator?
Well, it's just different strategies. They use different strategies. They have creative strategies. We do fix and flips. At the very basic black and white, we make a ton more money on flips than somebody would do on a creative deal. Talk to your friends who are doing creative deals. But it's just bottom line is just different strategies, different. What do they say? Different strokes for different folks, or something like that. That's all it is. Different. We focus on totally different strategies.
Love it. Perfect. Anyone else? While I have Pete on the line, I don't want to keep him too long. Linda, I see you raising your hand. Go ahead.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, Peter. Hi, Roland. Can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent. Thank you. So, we've talked to partner driven. We talked to Julie, or we got on Julie's call a while ago. Just a tiny bit of feedback. I am always busy when you have this call, and I haven't been able to join for months. So maybe mixing up that time, because I pick up my kids at 3 o'clock, and it's 3 o'clock Eastern, or sorry, Pacific. So we've talked to Julie a couple times. We just got, actually right before this phone call, we got, and I say we, my husband's right now here next to me. We just got a property accepted, a bank owned property. We got an offer accepted, and
Congrats.
right now we're doing a fix and flip. And then this one is another one on deck for us. So if it's under contract, how would we work with you guys to add you, like, to bring you on to pay for it?
The banks are
You
kind of
mean
like a
if
headache
you
when it
mean
comes
if
to a
you
vendor.
if you become a partner?
Yes.
It's just a structuring thing. We've done that quite a bit of times. Partners start with us. Well, number one, well, two things. One, do not join us just to do one deal. Again,
No.
I tell people that's not worth it for me to invest time and effort and my team. I pay a ton of salaries to these people, but I know you're not, so that's good. Number
Sure.
two, this may not even be a deal for us. You know what I mean? We may look at it and analyze it and tell you the best thing. We might just save you, 5 months of sleepless nights, stress, lose, 6 years in the back of your life and a bunch of money. Because we may
Yeah.
look at that deal and say, Linda, run. And by the way, in real estate, ask me how I know. I pretty much made myself homeless as I did the business. Some of the best deals are the best deals that never get done. So if it truly is a deal, we'll figure out how to structure the contracts in a back way. Most of the time, that's very possible, no big deal. But B, this may actually not even be a deal. And then we could save you from unbelievable problems that you guys may be right up on the brink of committing.
Okay.
And as good as I am at structuring deals, I'm as good as it gets at figuring out what are not deals. Because if I tell you it ain't a deal, you better run.
Okay. And then, like, if I can ask another follow-up question, Peter.
Sure.
What does that look like? Like, do we talk to you? Do we talk to somebody on your team? Do
Oh,
we
yeah,
submit it
No, we
through?
have
Like, what does it
infrastructure.
look like?
No. It's like you said, hey, I've missed this call a couple of times. This call is not even for there's no partners on this call. This is not.
Yeah.
Our partners work 24/7 with them. They have a whole back office set up. We're always here. We're supporting. Yeah. So communication is
So do you have teams?
quick.
Do you have a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of teams
extreme.
across?
It's extremely quick. Well, yeah, our teams are not only our team is scattered, but it doesn't have to be scattered. We could all be sitting in one office and deliver the information that needs to be delivered.
Yeah,
So,
like if you have a property that you found and it needs to be rehabbed, who does the rehab? Do you have
yeah,
guys
we have
all
a
over the
team
country?
that could be deployed there. We have a team that could be
Okay.
deployed. Yeah. But Linda, so that from a partner perspective, not an issue. For our partners, I literally am 24/7. Like this, I love this business. There's nothing else I'd rather do than to put deals and structure deals. It's what I do. I'm very good at it. So not an issue.
Thank you.
So yeah, Mike, if we need to deploy, we deploy, and we have to deploy almost all the time with something because none of our deals are right where I live. The
Right,
closest
right.
deal we have to me here is like 20 minutes from where I live. The closest deal to that is like 3 hours away. So
And where are you at Jacksonville?
Atlanta.
Atlanta, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now,
Uh,
another question. What about now you have a bunch of realtors across the country too, right? Or do you guys do it?
Yeah, but that's not an important piece. I mean, we know
Okay.
how to deploy realtors lickety split. Not an
Mhm.
issue at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see some more.
Let's go do well. Listen, you don't got to keep seeing more. What you saw is everything you need to know at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
This is if you see me for an hour and you hear me for an hour and you're like, well, can't wait to listen to you for 10 more hours so I could figure out if I should do this. It's probably not for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is either hits you over the top of your head and you're like, well, hell yeah, this makes sense, or you're like, well, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm picking on you just to make a point. So,
Sure.
all
No
right.
problem.
Any other questions, Roland? Or anyone else? Take yourself off mute. I got time maybe for one more question.
Huh?
I see Carson, you trying to unmute as well?
What's that?
Last call.
No,
Curious,
someone else.
if we find a deal, we write up the offer and we show you the offer and then you come up
It's
with
all
the earnest money.
systematized. It's all systematized. Garson, you literally hit a couple buttons and offers created for you through us. It could be gotten right to the seller directly. It could be gotten to you. I mean, literally with us, it's plug and play.
Okay.
Even the offers and the contracts, all that.
And opening escrow and the whole bit.
Everything. We got everything. Like we'll never come to you and say, well, Garson, we're at this part of the deal. We've never been here. We don't know what the hell to do, so you take over. That does not happen.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Love
Yes,
it.
sir.
Love it. So we're at the top of the hour. Pete, again, for those who have not got a chance to speak with Peter or myself, click the link. We'll be sure to contact you, if not tonight, tomorrow. Pete, like you said, after hearing you speak for about an hour, either this makes sense or it doesn't.
Or it doesn't. That's
Final
right.
words before we take off here for the evening.
Well, I think you said it brilliantly yourself. I mean, look, I'm looking for people that want to do more deals because I want to do more deals. I see the huge opportunity. We got three things working for us. We got our experience of thousands of deals. We got incredible. This goes back to what Linda was saying. Our paperwork is unmatched in terms of contracts and all this. It allows us to do almost no other investor can do, and what's taking place in the marketplace right now. And so these three things are converging. We're literally at a perfect storm. And so we want to have more people. We want to give more people the opportunity to do more deals. But reality is, I'll be honest with you, I just want to do more deals myself. So for me to do more deals and for the team to do more deals, we got to help more of you all to do deals. So if you guys listen to this and you're like, yep, that's logical, that's common sense, fill out the link at the bottom. We'll chat, we'll talk, make sure it's a good fit. And if it's a good fit, let's go chase some dreams. All right, guys. I'm
Awesome.
out.
Thanks,
I got
Pete.
5 kids. I got to go take care of the kids.
Thank you.
Have a good night, y'all.
Good
Thanks for being
night.
here. We'll talk
Y'all
to you
later.
soon.